What's happening, everybody? It's Joel Hoekstra here of Whitesnake. Just want to send a big shout out to my friends at Ham Radio Clubhouse. Hope you guys are doing awesome, man. Love you guys. Izzo, Beer Snack, Steve, Molson, Joe, Shane. You guys are rockers to the core. Cheers, guys. Have a great one.
You know what? I just had to.
Man.
Nice.
Man, I am going to grow my hair long again. I'm growing my hair long. Next time you see me. That was awesome.
Not bad.
Not too shabby.
Molson? What do you think, Molson? Guys, listen. Molson got right into it right as soon as Shane queued up that music. Molson was rocking, man. Molson was like, starting the Harley. Let's go.
Wait a minute. He's got snow on the ground. I don't think he's starting the Harley.
All right. Starting the Zamboni. Click.
Yeah, there
click.
you go.
Come on, Shane. We're hardcore to the core, man.
We are rockers to the core.
Motorcyclists in the winter. It doesn't matter what.
We're all going to be in bed in 2 hours. That's right. We're hard rockers.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm on call tonight, and we have a system outage planned for 1 a.m. So, yeah.
You got plenty of time.
Yeah. That's kind of what I kept telling myself. Welcome, everybody. Ham Radio Clubhouse, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Thanks to the folks over on Twitch. Thanks for everyone in the green chat, our channel supporters. We appreciate you guys. I have a new camera because I got tired of Jim making fun of me saying that I look like a zombie. So, got the Coyote. I can't pronounce it. Anyway, it was on Black Friday for $60. It was a $200 camera. So,
what's the name of that bus on that cartoon show for kids? I rode
the Magic School Bus.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
okay. Wheels on the bus go round and round.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, did you guys have a good holiday weekend?
Yeah, I sit here.
I worked.
You worked.
I worked.
Jason, yes, I know I look a little pink. I waited to the last minute to make some changes to the color, so I apologize.
You know, I got to call out Scout 75.
Uh-oh.
You know, did you see his comment? Hang
Which
on.
one?
Hang on. I'm calling you out, Brother Scout. He's a big fan of everybody that'll send him money through Cameo. That's not funny, man. He said our names. He said our names. You know what that means? I don't hear him saying Scout 75.
You wait. It'll be next week. Scout's going to have a Whitesnake intro that's nothing but Joel Hoekstra.
It's going to cost him a Cameo fee.
All right.
Hey, speaking of music, did you pick tonight's music?
Of course.
Okay. Had that Joe Satriani kind of a... Dude, there was somebody
80s
else.
Throwback, I thought, maybe.
Who else? I'm sorry.
Look like a little 80s throwback to me.
Yeah, but I was just trying to be more specific of who I was kind of hearing in there with those riffs. It had it brought back some memories of, driving around in the Cutlass, nowhere to go on a Friday night, but you just drove around just because you didn't want to go home. And you just cranked it up. You just cranked it up and you just drove. Yeah.
Shane, I was going to say before, but I wouldn't interrupt. But, taking a swipe from Jim about how you look on camera, Jim is like a mix of Peter Griffin and the homeless guy put together. Like, that's really, Sorry, Jim. We love you.
Is he here tonight? Is he here tonight?
Oh, yeah. He's in the chat.
Wow. Molson with the home run in the first inning. Look at that.
Wow.
Our Reggie Jackson here. All right.
I'll be here all night, guys.
I'll be here all night. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, Lindsay Hicks said it, man. Shots fired. Ed, shots fired. And there he is. I'm right here.
Hey, if we didn't have our friends to critique us, who would we have, right?
That's right.
So last night I was driving home from work late and I was listening to the guys on Coffee and Ham Radio, but the Nuggets show. And they're pretty good background noise to listen to on the drive. Like, you don't want to listen to music like I was driving to where I was going. I was listening to classic music, and I was like, because I didn't want to listen to rock. And then I started to listening to those guys on the way home. I have to say they're very good background noise to listen to, especially when they're trying to figure something out and they can't figure it out. That was great. You know, most people, they try and master it before they do a show. They try to master it during the show. And so
I'm going to
Let's
jump in
follow
on this.
along.
I'm going to jump in on this. I have this new app on my phone to help me go to sleep. It's them.
Dang.
Man,
I'm only kidding. I love those boys. I love them.
you guys are tough tonight.
no, honestly, so it's a couple times where Monday I have to work late. Either I'm in Ottawa or Montreal, and I really enjoy just listening to them while I'm driving. Like I obviously can't see what they're doing, but their interactions, their conversations, I think they're great. So I really actually enjoy those guys. So I'm just bugging them. We have to.
We have to.
Just listening to Jim, you know he can't figure it out, and it's not his fault.
Blame it on Gray Man Poda. No, I'm only kidding. Gray Man's good.
Guys.
Gray Man's good. He's a good guy.
Man, we are already off to a hell of a deal tonight. I'm behind. We got Cameron. Cameron, thanks for the 8-month membership shout out. We appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for being here. We've got thought I saw N1JUR. $10 for the super chat. We appreciate it, man. Thank you guys. All that stuff is going to go to the grand giveaway coming up on December the 26th.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have a couple things to give away tonight.
Ooh, okay.
Yes.
But that's later.
Right, I think I got rid of my pinkness.
That's later.
In my video, so it looks great on my preview, but it doesn't look the same in my preview window as what it looks like on screen. So
the only one tonight who looks good is Kevin's dog. Kevin's dog looks the best.
Speaking
Kevin,
of,
what's the dog's name?
Attack.
Attack.
Yeah. Get out of your car and yell attack and see what happens.
I'm here to give you some treats. I'm here to play Poda.
Yeah, exactly.
He invited me, really. He invited
No, actually,
me to the cornfield.
You'll like her name. It's Izzy. Pretty close to Izzo.
Oh,
there you go.
Hey,
good choice.
Yep. Right.
Jody says, "Can you bottle that Nuggets Insomnia treat?"
Oh, you Canadians are funny tonight. You
I
Canadians get a little of that American Texas or turkey into you. You see what happens to them? They get all juiced up.
Well, since y'all didn't want to run with my intros, do you want to get started with our guest tonight? Izzo, do you want to introduce?
No, time out. Hang on.
Yeah.
Technical first. Jeff says you're still pink.
I don't care.
I don't know. Are you? I'm looking. I'm kind of.
It is what it is.
You look pretty Caucasian to me.
I mean, it is.
Listen, Izzo, I'll be damned if our shortest intro is for a guy from Iowa. It's not happening. It's just not.
Molson, you're fired up tonight. We haven't seen you this fired up in months.
I haven't been on in a couple of weeks.
Did you have a DQ tonight? Did you have a blizzard yet?
No, man. I'm thinking about paying someone some money to go get one.
That's not a bad idea.
Do you guys have DoorDash up there in your neck of the woods?
Dude, you know how big of a tip I had to leave for DoorDash where I live? It's like a 25-minute drive.
Right.
I ain't doing that. I'm too cheap. That's why
Freddie Mac.
That's why God gave me kids.
Yeah, there you go. Especially ones that are old enough to drive. Freddie Mac, thanks for the $15 for the Christmas fund, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Freddie. We appreciate it as always.
And Chris, W5BBM, 10 months as a YouTube channel member.
that's amazing.
Tell that to your therapist.
We got some loyal fan base down
I
here.
think they just kind of forget and come back 10 minutes later, 10 months later. And like, oh yeah.
I subscribe to that channel.
We have to tell everybody, Steve right now is somewhere in California. I know he was operating. My ham alert went off. Was it yesterday? I think, or today?
He was operating today too, I thought.
Yeah. He found the Poda Park, about 4 blocks from his hotel, rather.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he actually did that, but we wish him safe travels.
And we're a little jealous.
Yeah, because he's on that California gold rush. We don't know what he's doing. See, Steve, so Molson pointed this out many years ago, and it took me a while, but Molson, Dan, you were right. Steve is sneaky. You don't know what's going inside that guy's head, and I mean that in a good way. There's nothing evil. There's no conniving, unethical, but you don't know what's going on.
No, it's Steve has conversations by himself. I'm convinced of that. You see, Steve, we love you, man. We love you. When you're watching this, he might be watching now, and he's like, "Oh, what's he gonna say?" Steve, you'll be in a room with Steve, and Steve will just like, or you'll be on a stream with him. He'll just smile. He'll nod his head. He'll go, right? And it's just like, what? Right to what?
No, Steve,
what are you talking about? You know? Okay. He's good.
It happened. I'm gonna
Steve
make
is the most chill guy, right? Steve doesn't get angry about nothing.
There we go. That's much.
I like that. I like that better.
We got to put Kevin there in the center, in the hot seat.
Mm-hmm. That's okay.
Steve's been a subscriber now for 20 minutes. Not the right Steve, but thank you for subscribing, Steve. That's Kilo Oscar 4 Golf Sierra Mike.
I know that, Steve.
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh.
Is he trouble?
Oh yeah.
Every Sunday he is.
Yep, that's right.
South Carolina Steve, yes.
Nice.
We'll talk a little bit about that in a few minutes with Kevin. So, guys,
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I got frustrated. We had this storm came in here into southern Connecticut, and we either get between now and May, obviously hurricane season is over. So, but we still get these storms, and depending on temperature, moisture factor, is it a high, is it a low, this and that. We either get plummeted with just a lot of snow, or just a lot of wind and rain, raw wind. So we had that. I lost an antenna the other day.
Really, antenna down.
Yeah, and it was really like grid down, guy. I was like, it's like the whole world had to shut down because I had to fix the antenna. Either we had to do something. I couldn't. It bothered me for like 2 days, thinking, what could it be? And I can't get out there. Of course, during the storm, there's nothing you could do during the storm. You might as well just you just continue to bunker down. And it was not a horrific storm, but it was still a big enough storm where unless I'm going to start putting on the rain gear and the rubbers and the hoodies and all this other stuff and kind of go out there.
Boots. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, found a major problem with it. I threw up Sunday. I put my TN07 up in the backyard. This is an interesting antenna from the TN07.
I thought you said you vomited.
That's what I thought too.
Threw up. Okay, you're right. I'm sorry.
Like, what do we want to know you threw up for?
I'm sorry. I erected. I
don't know if that's a great way to put it either.
All right. Well, then what other verbiage can we use?
I placed my antenna in the air.
He mounted his
antenna.
I mean, we potentially have, very large guests previewing the show tonight to see if they want to come on at a later date.
So you're saying we should not have the show like we normally have the show?
Rewind.
Because if I've seen that big guest that normally watches, he would appreciate this.
All right. How does this sound? I installed an end-fed half-wave that I have in my Go kit, the TN07. Thank you guys at TN07. I hope you're watching. I hope you will watch. I've always had good luck with this antenna out in my POTA parks along with the others. But this one's a little bit different. This one's completely waterproof. So we installed it, and it's doing so well. It's doing actually better so far than the off-center fed half-wave.
Is it a vertical? What kind of antenna?
It's a sloper, end-fed half-wave. I have it up with slopers. Okay. Apex is up probably about maybe 32, 35-ish feet, and it's just going down. And of course, it's winter time here, so the leaves we're all done. I did my final leafing and mulching. Nobody's going to go in the backyard. There's no such thing as bonfires and Rolling Stones coming in and having a concert. It's none of that right now in my backyard until like May. So who cares about the wire, right? This thing is doing incredible. It was doing so incredible. We'll talk a little bit about more. When I was working Kevin and Steve on Sunday night, I mean, I got down to a quarter watt 0.250 quarter watts. And that was the power leaving the radio. Who knows what actually was hitting the antenna, maybe. But anyway,
I was about to
these
say.
guys. But anyway, so it's been an interesting time here. I really wanted to get out and play some POTA, just not enough days off to get it done. So I'm hoping I'm off on Sunday, and then I go into weekend. So hopefully I'll get into. But just smoking a good cigar again, guys. This is the Tatawai Grand Conjun. If you're a cigar smoker, Grand Conjun's got these nice 2021 series out. They've been aging for a couple of years. I tried one last night. I was watching, Nuggets last night, enjoying it. Another very good smoke as far as their whole entire product line. All good Nicaraguan. More on the fuller side as far as flavor goes. So I'm just kicking back, and I got a list. I got my list right over here of things I want to talk about tonight. So 1, 2, 3. Actually, it's 2 out of the 3 are all radio. So there you go.
What are you saying on a Ham Radio Clubhouse? We're going to talk about radios.
2 out of the 3 topics are all radio. There.
Wow. All right for that. I got to fly a couple days ago. That was fun on Friday.
I saw
Was that picture where you were like looking down at another balloon?
Yeah. So I can let's present and share screen. Oh, wait, that's going to cause an echo. I keep forgetting if I'm just sharing pictures. I need
we
to
can
mute
it. We can mute it if it happens again. There's a mute button on the corner of it.
There we go. So this is me and this pretty balloon here. Oh wait, there we go.
Which one's that? The white one?
Oh, you can't see my pointer. The white one is the one that I'm flying. My friend that's flying this white and red striped balloon is named balloon's named Waldo. Like where's Waldo?
Yeah.
And he hand sewed this. He hand sewed both of those. He actually builds these.
Oh wow!
So these two were out for their maiden flights, and I was just out for a training flight. So it was cool. You have fall colors in Texas. Who would have thought? So let me get to. I think I've got a picture of Bill here. Yeah, there you go. He's dressed up like Where's Waldo?
Nice.
Flying the Waldo balloon.
That's nice.
But a fun afternoon flight over Eastern Dallas DFW Metroplex. But we had a close encounter of the round kind.
Wow.
And this was just after he drifted down next to us. Like literally we were floating together and he was above me, and then he was like, "Hey, don't go anywhere. I'm going to come down." And when he came down, I looked over and he was like literally like looking right in my face.
Was
like,
that scheduled, or was that like a pocket of air and Mother Nature did something to
Mother Nature just kind of moved him over towards us. And then we just kind of waved at each other as we went by. We were just having a conversation, chit-chatting with each other. But it was absolutely fun. These are, let me try to embiggen this a little bit. I don't know if you can see this. So these are called hoppers. There's no basket.
Yeah, it looks like he's sitting on a chair or something.
Yep, he has a racing chair with a racing harness, and then there is 2 10-gallon propane tanks on the frame behind him, and then he has the upright frames around him and a single burner. It's more of a one person. They call them hoppers. They're a lot of fun, and I can't wait to fly one.
That might make me say Carlos is a little bit normal jumping out of planes versus. I'm trying to think who's more crazy. I do like that idea. That is cool.
I mean, it's just like being in a basket.
I don't know. I thinking about what Izzo said. First thought would be you're in a basket. It's safe. It's a balloon. But if anything ever happened, like when that guy was coming near you, if you guys collided, right? And let's say like all of a sudden you start plummeting, if it happened.
Why would we plummet though?
I don't know. He rips your balloon. Let's say he rips your balloon.
We just kind of go bloop off of each other. There's
what happens if your balloon rips?
Well, I mean, it's touching another balloon, just fabric. Like the only way that he could rip the balloon is if he came down like on top of the balloon.
What if one was positively charged and one was negatively charged?
You know, I wish this was the old days. There's such an analogy I want to use right now, but I can't. I don't even know how to say it clean.
Yeah, but here's the thing: when you're parachuting, you have a backup, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's your backup?
Right.
That giant ass balloon that's over the top of my head acts as a
If
parachute.
you're telling me, but if you're
So there's no
telling me
redundancy.
Iron Man,
It's just
he doesn't even have his Iron Man suit on.
Well, I don't know. What do you need to? I mean,
God forbid.
They're moving at the
James,
they're moving at
remember-
the same rate with
remember
me. At the
famous
same.
last words. What could ever go wrong? Right? It's
And
There's
then-
a lot that could go wrong, but a mid-air collision with two balloons, because you've got so much bulbous thing above you before your basket would touch, your balloons are going to bump off of each other.
So you're going to get a little friction going, and
You're going to
nothing's
like
gonna
bounce. The fabric's going to but you're moving the same direction because you're both moving with the wind. So,
what if it's a hot, humid day and your balloon?
well, if a
gets
frog
chafed?
had wings, he wouldn't bump his ass on the ground every time he took a hop, now would he?
Yeah, but if two hot air balloons rub on a humid day, do they get chafed?
Say that
I'm
again.
just asking. just want to make sure.
Izzo's still trying to figure out what I just said. I can't play this video because the person that did it put music to it, so I can't play
You know,
this.
I gotta ask you.
We can mute the music.
Yeah.
Play it with the music, and I can mute that channel. There's a thing over here.
Oh, this one doesn't have music. Here we go.
Okay. You gotta share it.
I'm going to give me a second.
You know, back in the old days, cars used to have those little pointy things, and you go and you would jam up the wheels. You guys don't have any of that stuff, do you? So
See, perfectly safe.
okay,
It's like a lawn chair suspended. Look at that guy.
a chase lounge.
That's crazy.
He's all chilling too.
Yeah. Yeah. Just think it'd be easier to go to the washroom if you're sitting down like that.
Get out the dude wipes.
I did ask Shane the other day if it was proper to yell 4 when you're dropping waste out of the basket and there's a balloon below you.
So we were talking in our private channel. I don't understand when it comes to airline travel. Some people have a hard time on an airplane. And today's where we are in 2023. It's a very simple: be good, board the plane, stow away your personal stuff up there, lock it up or shut the door, sit down, put on your headphones, do something, read a book. I don't care what you do. Go do macrame, knit a sweater, whatever, right? Go play Super Mario on your phone, whatever you got to do, right? But why do some people have a problem getting on the plane, and then there's a problem on the plane? You know what I'm saying?
Because people are stupid.
So I don't know. It's almost like when I was watching stuff, and I'm saying to myself, this is almost like what the stuff we get in the 911 center. We get these repeat callers, we'll call them.
Repeat offenders.
Repeat offenders. They just have a hard time making the right decisions in life, and then there's a problem. But on an airplane, you're at this other level. I think that you're going, because you need to get on the plane. Do not ruin someone else's experience. Don't make the flight staff corral you and try to
put you in handcuffs.
Yeah, and then go on the FBI.
You go on the no-fly list. So congratulations, you're driving. You're taking a train from now on.
And is that for life? Or is that like do they put like a penance on that?
I'm sure it depends on what you do. Like if you assault a flight attendant, yeah, you're pretty much done for the rest of your life.
All right. So now if you have an issue, if you can't control yourself on the plane, what makes you think that listen, there's going to be a higher probable cause. You're going to do the same thing when you get on Amtrak, when you get on Greyhound or Peter Pan or whatever your planes, trains, automobiles, Hertz, rent. I don't understand people today. I really do not understand what's going on. That's all I'm going to say. All I'm going to say is next time I get on a plane, do not ruin my trip. Do not ruin my trip. I will push you out that door, and I don't care. And I'm going to tell that pilot, just keep on going.
Forget about that breeze you felt and the person screaming
yeah.
as I pushed him out the window.
Don't. I locked the door. That's all I'm gonna say. I locked the door. And, drinks are on me. Drinks and peanuts. Everybody.
Yeah, there you go.
But I'm sure everyone's going to be clapping. Everyone's going to be clapping, saying, "Thank you, Mr. Rizzo. Thank you," because who wants to deal with an idiot?
Nobody. Don't go to the grocery store because those are full of idiots.
Well, I was just about to say, Shane, that the reason why it happens is because the same people who go to the grocery store go on airplanes.
Yeah.
You guys ever see the website People of Walmart? There, exactly. Yeah. That's why. But so Ham Radio Tectonics, our buddy, he's a pilot, and he says because people aren't used to being that close to strangers and not in supposed control. I think that's part of it. It doesn't help when you go to the airport and you get sauce before you get on the plane at the local.
That's a good analogy. That's a good analogy. Yeah.
But listen, there's a-holes in every industry, including that. Anyways.
Well, Molson, keep it going. What have you been up to?
Oh gosh. Life's been crazy. I've been crazy busy. I don't know. I still got to get out and do some antenna work. And I'm praying that we just either get snow or it's summertime. And it's the worst time of year where it rains.
It's only the beginning.
It's
only the beginning.
Just above freezing, goes down back up. To me, it's either you go all the way, you're either all the way in or you're not in at all. And I just want
That's what I do. That's what I do, my friend. I go all the way in.
I want winter to hit.
Not just a tip. Go all the way in.
Okay. I want winter to hit.
We have important people that are watching this show that might want to come on as a guest. Y'all need to clean your act up.
And see, Izzo, that's the type of people who get on airplanes and they assault people. People who talk about that. Okay?
I am always good. Let me tell you something. I'll tell you a story. The couple I've flown maybe 6 or 7 times. I've flown 6 or 7 times. Like my first POTUS, I brought way too much with me in my carry-on. And trust me, if I could have brought the 9, I would have. Because that's just how it is.
Wow. Dude, well, tonight's Clubhouse is brought to you by Martin House Pretzel Stout, the peanut butter limited release. Your Texas, pick that up.
I remember the days where I was running late for a job and I had to take a plane somewhere. And the only thing I took on the plane was a suitcase full of tools. I had drills, I had screwdrivers, I had all that stuff. And I literally it was like a carry-on one. It was full of tools. I carried on the plane, put it in the overhead. So obviously it was in the 1990s. But
good look at that nowadays.
Yeah, exactly.
You could tell them, hey, I'm a technician. This is what I use it for, right? I build, we learn. Yeah.
I have a YouTube channel. You should check it out. Speaking of YouTube channels, we have this guy that joined us tonight who has a fantastic YouTube channel. I'm going to segue. We're at the bottom of the hour. 30 minutes in. We're wasting Kevin's time.
I'm sorry, Kevin.
He didn't even Izzo, last time he come on the show.
I know. So I'm gonna move Izzo there. Izzo, I want you to introduce Kevin. He probably doesn't need an introduction because we've had him on before. He's got a fantastic YouTube channel. So Izzo, tell the 138 people watching a little bit about our friend.
Okay, so this is important, guys. We like to have fun, but this guy is really having fun. We met Kevin a while back, maybe 6 months, 9 months ago. Kevin is from Iowa. He's a hardworking American. Him and his family, they have a farm, and Kevin plays radio. But he does it a little bit different than everybody else. I don't think I've ever seen him pass 20 watts. He's loading up combines. He's loading up the John Deere. Anything that is metal, he is attaching an alligator clip of various sizes.
I even think he tried to do his pond too, or
yes.
Pond water, or
pond water,
water, or creek water. Yeah,
yep. the creek water.
And sometimes he don't even use a battery. He pedals a stationary bike.
Right.
For hours.
And if that doesn't work, he has the dog and he throws a stick to the dog, and the momentum of the dog is actually the 12 volts power in the dog, and then afterwards he gives the dog a treat, gives him some water, cools him down, then he goes back again. Kevin is always thinking about how can I get on the radio. He has a great Facebook page, a QRP SSB, Sunday nights. Kevin, I want you to tell everybody about Sunday nights. So the floor is yours, Senator.
Well, thank you for having me back on the Clubhouse. It's great to be back and seeing all the friends. I see on the chat, somebody must have leaked out that I'm going to be on here because I see some people from the QRP SSB group. Usually,
and rightfully so. They're good people. They're all good people over there.
They're going to have questions after the show, Kevin. So.
Right. Well, I
know these guys.
I usually don't announce when I'm going on shows like this. Just I can't keep
like
it on the down
low. Like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't admit that you were on the Clubhouse either. It's okay.
So anyway, I see some of them showed up, but that's great. I'm glad to see them. But yeah, we're just having ham radio fun, living the dream out here, putting up poles and hooking the metal things and seeing if they work. Just curiosity is the biggest thing, is what kind of gets me. But we've been, well, what have we done lately? We threw wire over the corn stalks here this fall and made some contacts with that. We used one of them big slingshots. Can't think of what they're called, but it's a big slingshot that you can shoot wires over trees with. Use that and put a golf ball on the end of a wire and shot that over the corn stalks and radiated
to the next county.
Right, you're right. And we radiated some corn there. Hopefully, I'm thinking. Figured
it was all popped on the other end.
Was it feed corn?
Right. Well, I figured some kids would be eating his corn flakes, and he'll want to play ham radio someday. It might genetically alter him to want.
Hey, Kevin, tell us about Kevin, seriously, the corn stuff. So you just literally, was it like a half-wave dipole and fed, and you just laid it literally about what? Maybe about 6 feet, 7 feet off the ground, maybe.
Right. The corn was, yes, the corn was probably about 8 foot tall, I suppose, right in there, 8 to 9 foot tall. And I just, as much wire as I could throw out over the corn stalks is what I launched. And then
That's awesome.
I think it ended up being about 80 feet or so I was able to get it out there. I just snipped the wire and put a 9-for-1 un on the end of it, run coax over to the radio and 5 watts and started making contacts.
Wow.
It was a lot of fun. I was most of the time I'm surprised as anybody else that this stuff is working. I don't expect it to work, and it does.
Vern has a question for you, and Vern, thanks for the $5 super chat. It says, "Where in Iowa, Kevin? I grew up on, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce that."
Yeah, how do you pronounce that? Ottumwa?
Oh yeah, Ottumwa. I'm up in north central Iowa, just south of Mason City, about a half hour.
Nice.
So
now, Kevin, sometimes you have your brother with you, right?
Yep, my brother. He lives. My siblings all live within about 5 miles from where I live. I live on the home place that we all grew up on.
All right. So the question is, after work, after church, you all get together, you get something to eat, and is somebody saying, "Hey, I got an idea for you, Kevin"? Are they joining in this madness? Are they? Why aren't they getting their ham radio license too? Or they're just going to help you in the background, but still have fun, but just let you do it? How does that work?
Yeah, they pretty much just let me handle it. We're actually we don't have any ham radio operators in the family. I'm one of the first ones ever. As far as I know, nobody else has. My brother Bruce got his radio license about 5 years ago, but never used it. He's a technician now, and he's never been on the air. So I finally got him on the air this summer on 10 meters. We made contact with Greg out in California. So he finally did make a contact.
Nice.
So you got to at least get on the air once. And we videoed it and made a video.
Nice. Excellent.
But 7 years ago, he bought a Gap Titan DX antenna, and it sat in a box in the back shed for 5 years. And then he finally got his license. And then I finally got interested in it and got my license. And that's when we finally actually started playing radio. But they're just kind of they help me out whenever I need help putting up poles. And
you have a nephew too, right? Is it your nephew who gets on the radio with you?
Yep, my little nephew, right. That's my brother Bruce's son.
Excellent.
Yep. And he has the park. He carved out that grass piece out in the cornfield to make a park. We call it Noah's Park.
Good kid.
So we go out camping, and that's where I do a lot of my active ham radio play from.
So I'm sure in between work you're looking at things and you're like, man, I can load that up. I can load that. I can do this. But I'm sure the job, cause let's face it, because you're on a true working farm, correct?
I am. Well, and I have a day job also. So my brothers we actually retired the farming operation this year. This was the last year. So my 2 older brothers are retired now. And so we're pretty much done farming, and I still have a day job that I work Monday through Friday as well. So I'll continue doing that till I retire.
Do you still have access to the land though to do what you want to do?
Oh yeah.
Or,
Yep.
Yep. Oh, good. Oh, good.
Yep.
Because
Sure
I
do.
would have made sure that's in the contract.
Right.
Yep.
Yep. The land's
Well,
been rented out, but we
Yes.
still have access to it.
But it amazes me because it's like you got to be sitting there sometimes. You're like, this John Deere or this this wagon over here. I'm going to look, and you do.
Right.
You literally take it's so inspirational. I really suggest everybody go watch Kevin's videos. It's simple. It is so we're not talking rocket science. Just pull out the calculator, this and that. Kevin is literally taking an alligator clip at some various gauge of alligator clip in size and literally clamping it on.
Yep. Yeah. And I mean, I'm probably one of the biggest rookies out here. I don't know what I'm doing anyway. So I keep it as simple as possible, and I don't let theory or, any of that stuff interfere with what I'm doing. I just hook onto it and see if it works and see what happens.
It's pretty refreshing, Kevin, because I remember when I watched you were doing you tuned up an auger.
Yep.
Your grain auger. And that's pretty much it. Like there's a lot of heated comments or people who are always more than willing to correct people on their experimentation. Like that's not right, or it's, whatever it is, the nonsense, the verbal diarrhea that people put out when they have hate. Right. And literally at the end of the day, if you try it and it works and you make a contact, it's fun. Right. It might not be technically correct, might have some, some issues or not performing the model antenna, but it's working and it's fun, and right. it's kind of like what do you call it there? What's the word? Anyways, what I love about it is that there's just the freedom to just try it and experiment, and I think a lot of people forget that. That's how a lot of
Are
cool
you saying we're supposed
happen.
to have fun in ham radio?
Yeah,
well, it depends on what people you listen to, right? And that's
right.
No, I'm dead serious. Like, especially antennas, it's such a controversial topic. It's like, that's not the right way you build an antenna. Yeah, right. Well, guess what? I could be driving down the road and there's an auger and I got to make an emergency contact and it'll work, right? And Kevin, I love it. I love it, Kevin. It's amazing.
Thank you.
No disrespect to Marconi, Tesla, and everybody else over the last 100 years, 130 years who have built antennas, theories that have come along. They're probably rolling in their grave, or maybe they're just giving us the thumbs up, saying, something. Good remember that,
boys.
Good job. 100 years ago, I was scratching my head too, and I forgot. I should have just hooked it up to the John Deere. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, right?
Yep. Well, and in my case, I kind of look at it also as, if we have an emergency, like a tornado rips through and wipes out all my antennas and I have nothing to get on the air on, my silo's typically probably going to still be standing or something like that. That's a main big structure. I can still get on the air just by hooking up to the ladder on the silo and make some calls if I had to. So
don't you have like a backpack?
Yeah.
Was it HF? Was it 40?
I have a backpack for my ICOM 705, yes, and I have an antenna attached, so I do pedestrian mobile. Yep. Walk around.
I need pictures. I think I've got pictures. Hold on. Yep. I will show this. Keep talking while I go get pictures.
I think I might have sent you one of those pictures.
Yep, I've got them.
And I pretty much run 5 watts or less on everything I do. I'm pretty much QRP. I don't know that I've ever. There may have been 1 or 2 where I did do 10 watts, but I don't remember what that was for.
What do you have at home now, Kevin?
As far as in my shack?
Yeah. What do you have? Because we know how much field portable you love. You love field portable. We get that.
There it is.
Right. Yeah. That was a POTA activation. Parks on the air. That was 20 meters.
Awesome.
And I'm carrying my iPad with my Hammers app on it. So I'm
cool.
That's great.
logging the calls as they're coming in. My wife's doing the video, and she was out there with me too. So
Nice.
she actually thought that's the first time she went out with me doing that. She said, "This is kind of fun. Let's do that again."
Oh, she's hooked.
Yeah. So she just like getting out and walking around and stuff.
When a woman says that, you know, that's a good sign. Look at this one.
Oh,
That
yeah,
looks like a ham stick dipole.
that's
Antenna boy. That's antenna boy right there.
That's my pedestrian mobile 20 meter ham
MRD.
stick
There you
dipole.
go, brother.
That's awesome.
I
Yep.
love it.
And that's rotatable. That's my rotatable beacon or beam too. I can turn it.
Yeah, just
without
turn
a
your
rotor.
body. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
And
Look
I
at
see something coming off of each end of this. Are these ground radials for something?
Yeah, I just got that antenna. That's a mirror mount on the back of the gator there, and I just had some wires for ground radials coming off of
Nice.
that. And that was a ham stick on that.
See, Kevin, I'm jealous because your basic terrain is flat. You have
Yep.
nothing. One of the biggest myths that people think that you need to be up high. You need elevation. That is not always the case. It is, this is why I've had my best luck with a lot of my POTA activations that have literally been down by the coast. There's nothing to block my signal.
Right.
And you have saltwater.
Yeah, but I'm not even close. I'm still maybe a quarter mile, half a mile away from the water. Nothing is big. Listen, this is not wall. I'm not throwing my radials, the counterpoises into the pier, into the water. I'm still on dry land. My point is when you can get flat and have nothing around you for a couple of miles in Iowa, I'm sure you have that in a lot, I'm sure you have your hills and everything, your ridges, but still overall, it's just going to really help your signal. You don't have to. It's flat.
Yep. And
Mike says you need to come to Texas for field day, for our next field day.
That'd be great. I love Texas. I used to live down in Dallas, Fort Worth area for a few years.
There you go.
So I had a lot of fun down there.
All right, so let's back up to your shack now. What do you have in the shack? I want to know what's your shack stuff.
My main radios that I use on the desk is my ICOM 705 and my FX4CR. Those are my two radios.
You bounce them back and forth from the shack to the field.
The 705 stays here. The FX4CR, because it's so easily portable, I can just throw that in my box and head out the door. And,
what's the power output on that radio now?
The maximum is 20 watts.
Okay.
That's let's see, that's made by you. BG, I can't think of his call sign. He's over in China. He hand makes those things.
I've had my eye on that for a while.
It's a fun radio. It really is.
I'm gonna wait on that one. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. But I've had my eye on that.
Yep, it's a fun radio. So those are the two main radios I use, and I have an ICOM 7300 that I use on net night when we run the QRP net. Because as the control, I run at 180 watts usually, because I want everybody to hear me. I don't want anybody struggling to hear me as the net control. And then that's about the only time I use the 7300.
What antenna do you use for the base setup?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. That
I've got a homebrew 550 foot long wire. That's it's off center fed, but it's not really off center fed.
550
feet on one end and 485 feet going over to the silo, which is 87.
Wow.
Shane, hey Shane,
What's that?
Shane, how much wire do you have coming off of your balcony?
Wow. 60 feet, 65 feet.
I know.
Wow.
Oh my God. Oh.
Is there anything that you can't tune with
that? Well, actually, and when I think about it, I'm thinking, well, 550 feet. And I'm thinking, well, gee, that's almost 2 football fields long. If you think about it, 200 yards, 600 feet is 2 football fields. So I should have just extended it another 50 feet and said, my antenna is 2 football fields long. But
now, do you have any noise issues on the farm? Do you get any, or is it pretty quiet for you out there?
Yeah, the only noise I get is on laundry day when the wife's doing laundry on Sundays.
Tell her
Get
not
this
at
laundry
6
No
o'clock
radio-
Eastern
no
time.
radio
We got
that
a
day.
net. We got a net on it.
She knows she has to
Right.
schedule her laundry around net time. She'll ask you what time is, because we've been changing the times on the net, trying to figure out the propagation, the best times. And so she's like, what time is the net this Sunday so I can schedule my laundry to be done before? And then she can't stream on net night either because I need all the bandwidth I can have on the internet.
Right.
So she can't watch any of her Hallmark movies. So she puts in quite a bit of sacrifice for the ham radio hobby.
Good for her.
She's a good
Yep.
woman.
Right.
Yep.
There you go.
But that's my main antenna, and I do have that 1.5 wave inverted V antenna I put out here on the pole that I just put up here a week or so ago. So that's
Is it
my two main
it's like
antennas.
a half wave or no?
1.5 wave.
1.5. Oh,
Yep, 1.5 wavelength.
wow.
So it's 48 feet. The legs are 48 feet on each side, and it's an inverted V. I just put that. I've been using it portable. My Elmer Leon KC1LBL. He's the guy that got me in ham radio 4 years ago, and if it weren't for him, I wouldn't be here because he got me interested in it. And I've never met the guy. We've only corresponded via email and talked on the phone, but we've never shook hands, and I never met him. He lives in New Hampshire, but we've been friends for years, and it's just kind of one of those relationships.
That's awesome.
But he got me he used to work for Marconi Canada, so he's got a lot of experience in antennas because that's what his main focus was, working for that company. So he knows all the theory and understands all the technical stuff about it. So when I showed him what I was doing, he's like, that's not going to work. That stuff ain't going to work.
And then you make contacts.
But he never discouraged me from trying. You know, he said, well, just go try it. And then I come back with these videos of him working, and he's just scratching his head like,
that's not supposed to work.
Right, exactly. So he's
Kevin,
having as much fun with it as well.
All right. So do you remember? Because so obviously now where we are in cycle 25, a lot of things are working. Let's just be honest here, okay? The sun is our friend. Okay, we are all doing well. I mean, you're gonna see next year, next couple years between now and 2027, they're just gonna start dipping down again. I believe I heard from Tamantha that the new
But
peak,
it's like 5 years of dipping down. It's
Right.
not like it's going to drop off next week.
well, you got to remember too,
or the day
we've
after.
had right, no, right. And remember,
Yeah.
we've had what, a nice 3-year gradual incline so far, so we're still doing
Yeah.
well.
And
But
we have
Kevin,
another
do you-
5-6 years of
Do you remember
as
when
it
you
comes down.
right? But my point is, Kevin, do you remember when you started playing where you were? Were you still in cycle 24?
No, I was in the bottom
Bottom
end
of 24.
Yeah.
So now you could really track your,
Right.
based upon, and when I say track, keep it loose, because let's face it, we all know each day is going to be a different day, even at the
Right.
bottom of the cycle. The
It
bottom
is.
of the cycle, I've had some good success. So
Mhm.
me personally, I don't really care whether we're at the bottom, in the middle. I don't care for how I use ham radio HF. I don't care. Others,
Yep.
so be it. But
Right.
this
Yeah,
is gonna be fun for you.
I started at the bottom, so I didn't know any different. I was
Same
making
here.
contacts,
Good point.
and I'm like, well, this is great. And they're like, well, you can't, I mean, this sucks. When you talk to the guys that have been through all the cycles, they're like, this is horrible. Nothing works. And I'm like, well,
I just
I didn't
talked to
know what
somebody in South America.
right, exactly. and I'm working people on QRP. That's how Steve and I met. We were in the bottom of the cycle early on, and I used to sit here at night with 1 watt and just call CQ, and whoever answered me, I'd talk to him, and that's how Steve and I met. Steve out in South Carolina. He answered my call, and he was one of the 100 watters who'd never turned his radio down before. And that night, I encouraged him to turn his radio power down to 5 watts, and we were still making contact. And when I did that, I always recorded it. I always had a recording so I could share that with the folks that would answer my call and actually would dial their power down, so they could hear what they sounded like. I would post it on the YouTube.
Well,
on
it's
YouTube
funny
for 'em,
because
so-
I do that after I work you and Steve on the Sunday night net, and I want to swing into that. it's fun to listen to myself.
Yep.
Because I want to hear what my station sounds like, but to listen to, because I got to remember, I'm listening it from your station based upon your equipment, time of day. Again, there's all the boxes there of how it's happening, but it's fun just to hear your station at different power levels.
Right.
You know,
and that's why we do the live stream.
Tell them about everybody. Tell them all about that.
So we have a QRP net that we have on Sunday nights, and it basically started. We have a QRP SSB Facebook page, and one night a week we'd all get together and we'd do a live stream on Facebook, and we'd make calls and I would be doing the live stream, so people would be calling me and they would hear them, listen to themselves. Well, then it evolved into a YouTube channel, and Steve started helping me with net control, so he could take calls out on the East Coast. We tag team and work together. But basically what it is folks will call in and we'll work them right away. So there's no waiting around. There's no list to get on. And then, we start at the top. We just work you as we get you. And you come in. Typically I start and ask for people with QRP power. So I can, those folks that want to come in and check in with QRP 10 watts or less can do that. And I work them, and what they do is they just turn their power down, and I'm listening, and I'm saying, giving them a signal report, and they're trying to see as low as they can go. It's just test their antennas and see how it's performing. And like you said, Izzo, it's propagation changes moment by moment. 1 minute they're there, 1 minute they're gone. It's just kind of it's a variable, but that's one of the key parts about the live stream is so people now, when they do that, they can go back and listen to their audio, because that's what I go out and listen to SDRs all the time, tune in the SDRs and listen to my audio and just tweak it and see how propagation's going. And I thought that was an important part of the live stream, is so people can go back and listen to themselves. Yeah. And the other part also of the live stream is the folks that are joining us on the net. A lot of times, because we're QRP, and you get a lot of QRM, we can move the net frequency on a fly. We can QSY to anywhere we want to go, and the net, everybody on the net follows with us because they can see the frequency on the live stream. So if we need to go down 2K, I just tell everybody follow me, and I start dialing down, and they can see exactly where I'm going on the live stream, and everybody's back on the same frequency. It's a lot.
You mean you don't tell them the frequency is in use? There's a net here.
No, we just move. We just move.
I'm kidding.
Right. No, that's the beauty of our net is we're pretty flexible. We move. We don't. We'll find, and people ask, what frequency is your net on? And I'm like, well, we don't have a designated frequency. We just find one and start playing. And
Gray Man. Here goes the Gray Man. Here he goes. See?
Gray Man Poda asks, is QRP 5 watts, 10 watts, or 1500 watts minus 1 watt?
Matter of perspective.
Whoever you talk to.
Stir the pot, you lick the spoon.
So I may have missed it. Where can we find this QRP live?
The live stream, the YouTube channel is called QRP Net Live Stream.
Okay. I see.
QRP Net Live Stream. You can search for it. You'll see Sunday night's live stream there. I post it up for a week, and then when we do the next Sunday one, the old one gets deleted and the new one's posted for a week.
Okay, good. That's why I wanted to ask.
Don't leave them up.
I didn't see a lot,
So before we go on, I just have to say, Jody, for those listening on the podcast, Jody says, damn, the blizzard materialized after Molson summoned it. Don't tell anybody, guys, but I'm cheating on my queen tonight with Wendy.
What?
Oh
my gosh.
Frosty. Look, is that a chocolate or a strawberry? What do you go with?
It's a chocolate frosty.
Let me
you don't have order of fries to go with that?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
No mercy, man. I saw you scooping. You've been scooping that thing down.
If you're going to step out on the queen, man, you got to get fries to go with that.
You don't dip French fries in your frosty?
No.
It's a great thing.
You put gravy on them, but you won't dip them in your frosting. Okay.
Right? That's, what do they call that? Pugnette baguettes or something? What do they call that thing? Hey, Kevin, listen, I got to tell everyone.
Close enough.
get this thing back on track because we're talking radio tonight. Listen, you guys. I have said this 1,000 times. I keep Facebook only for the groups, and some groups have really gone off the rails, and it gets very frustrating, and it's too bad. But garbage in. This is what happens with garbage. It stinks. Kevin's Facebook page, I will tell you, is all gentlemen. I have never, and I hope I'm not jinxing it, and I'm sure the admins would take care of it, but I have never seen anything. Why are you doing this? None of that condescending stuff. N2MAK is, and so many other people are always posting some wonderful stuff to read, ideas, how to do things. It is truly a bunch of gentlemen helping gentlemen, and there is no, like I said, that's one of the beauties of the page that I really, really like, and kudos to that, because I know in social media world that's hard. That really is hard.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, and it's a credit to, like you said, all the members of the group. And we don't get into a lot of technical discussions where you can get a lot of those problems. We pretty much keep it just post your fun, share where you're at, share what you're doing, give us a video and pictures, and leave it at that. Yep. So
and guys, here's another thing why you should be checking in on Sunday night. So a lot of your radios, like for instance, I'll talk from the ICOM 705 perspective. Okay, I could dial that thing down, but on my 706, sometimes I use it out here in the ice hut, I can only go down in 10-watt increments. But Kevin doesn't care. Come down. Even if you start at 20 or 50 watts, and whatever your radio can do. But now the most important thing that I like is, because I use different radios to check in, I like to hear, like I said, I want to hear my audio on that particular night. And so far, I have found my ICOM 705 has the best receive audio out of all of my radios. No disrespect to my 7300, which I've checked in, but I think my 705 has better audio. How, what, and why, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, because let's face it, I'm no DJ. I don't have no great DJ voice. But overall, I think for my preference, the 705. But you can too. You have multiple radios. Check into, 1 week you use one radio, another week you use another radio. You go back, you listen, and you can kind of determine. Or maybe if you need to make any transmit audio adjustments, there's a good, there's a good thing as a reference to do it.
And test your antennas. The opportunity to, I want to try this antenna and see how it works at 5 watts. We'll have guys check in early on one antenna and call back again, do a recheck on a different antenna, or they'll switch them while we're there. If they can do a quick switch back and forth, we'll test them that way. But excuse me, Sunday night, it's funny because when you came on the net, I was just about ready to close because 20 meters was dead. It was quiet. We weren't getting any calls. And I was about ready to close it up, and we moved to 40 meters. And then you came through from Connecticut. I hadn't heard anybody from the East Coast for about 20 minutes. So I figured the East Coast was closed, and you came in, and you got down to 500 milliwatts easy, and then you got down to the 250 or 200 milliwatts there on where I were right on the edge of my noise, but you made it through. So that was a lot of fun.
That's fun because something, my grandfather has been a silent key now for about 10, 15 years now, I think. And this was a guy who, as a young kid in the early 70s, I need my Mr. Buddy heater to stay warm. Oh, he had Mr. Amplifier to keep that shack warm. And then, with his big Collins equipment, a lot of homebrew, there was no such thing as a tuner. It was called the Matchbox, and he built it himself, built the antennas and also. And then he started migrating, bought some 10-tech stuff, and started migrating down to QRP. He started building a lot of stuff using a 9-volt battery, going, playing with the quarter watt, playing with the hat, and everything. So when I start doing that, I feel like his DNA starts, stewing in my blood, and I can hear him saying, "Go Don, go Don, go Don, go right. Lower. It's okay, go lower. Don't be afraid." Right. What's the worst the guy's going to say to you?
Can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
He won't say anything because he can't hear you.
But it is amazing on a quarter watt, 0.25 from Connecticut out to Iowa. down this.
Mhm.
It is amazing.
Yep.
It's fun, guys. This is what it's all
Yep.
about. Have some fun. So
Yep. And we don't require, I mean, you can come in with any power. It's just that right at the beginning of the net, I try to let the QRP guys, they take precedence because it is the QRP net, and they want to try and get in with as low a power as they can. But once they cleaned up all those guys, then I opened it up to general, anybody, anywhere, and guys come in with 100 watts and dial it down. They'll come in 10 over 9, and then we'll just start working them down, and they're like, man, I can't believe you can hear me still at 5 watts. So. And we had
Kevin,
a couple on Sunday night.
Sure.
Yeah, Sunday night that, he's like, I've never turned my power down before. I've always worked 100 watts, so
Yeah,
this is
same
kind of
here.
fun.
I know what
They
that's
enjoy
like.
that.
Isn't that cool? Hey, Kevin, one of your videos, and it
We
really
have a question, Izzo.
All right, go ahead, Tony first. Go ahead, Tony. Or go ahead.
So what is Ham Alert? We've mentioned that a bunch of times tonight, and I just saw this scroll past. Ham Alert it's a website and an app, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let me get the URL for you, buddy.
It's like a customized spotter. So you download it on your page. You put any call sign in it you want to be alerted when they're seen on there. On the
hamalert.org is where you can go to create an account, and you can input as many triggers as you want, which would be call signs that when they are spotted on a network somewhere, you'll get an alert saying that they are on the air. And I think not APRS. Does APRS report to that as well, or is it just the Whisper and the other ones?
No idea how it's being done on the back end. I would love somebody to give me
hamalert.org. And then there's an app that you could download. It's also Ham Alert.
It's very wonderful because you can also pause it if you're at work and getting annoyed at all the people playing radio.
Joe's right.
That is true.
Yeah. Tony, I will tell you, it is easier. I have found it easier when you set up your account. Do it on a computer, whatever, because you have the bigger screen. Set up all your triggers. If you're a CW guy, and let's say you put me in there, obviously you're not going to find me on CW, so you're not going to see my call sign. But when I'm on sideband operating, you change your triggers to sideband or whatever. It's good for VHF. You'll see all the triggers in there. You pick and choose how do you want to be notified based upon what that operator is doing with that call sign. And it's very, very easy. You can put in 100, you can put in 10, 1,000. I don't even know if there's even a limit, but it sure is fun. And Joe Brett is 100% right, because when you're sitting at work and your friends are playing radio and you're not,
just pause it.
Yeah.
The ways you get. Do you want to do a giveaway right quick?
Yeah, why not?
Absolutely. There's somebody to win a combine if you got one of those to give away.
I don't have that, but I do have a CQ zone map desk reference mat from Quirky QRP.
I thought Kevin might have one he could give away.
I got one that's burned up because ours caught fire this fall.
Well, they didn't say what condition it had to be in.
Yeah, no kidding.
So go down to Iowa and claim your new combine.
Yeah. So a CQ zone map, desk reference map. These are the big ones. I've got it under a bunch of stuff, but these are the big desk mats that I've shown on several live streams from James over at Quirky QRP.
James has this too?
Yes, he does. And let's see here. If I switch tabs, hopefully it'll grab it.
Find it through all the t-shirts.
While Shane is doing that, guys, if you are looking for holiday gifts, your family says, hey, what can I get you? Stocking stuffers. And guess what? You've got the secret Clubhouse code. Quirky Clubhouse will give you a discount on anything that your friends, your family buys, or if you want to buy yourself something. You got an upcoming club, and you guys sometimes do a potlucks, secret Santas at your club, some of your club meetings. This is a great thing. He's got everything from the mats to the clocks to the t-shirts, the turnstile that holds HT antennas that KAMRD just loves. Mike loves that thing.
The antenna trolley.
He's got the Slink antenna. He's got a lot of cool stuff, guys, on that SD website. So go over there.
And we're going to be giving away a Slink antenna on our December the 26th show.
Wow.
And those are almost as hard to get a hold of as the Pac-10 Mini. So
right.
if you are interested in winning one of those, make sure you are following the show. You've got your alerts turned on because you never know what's going to happen or what we're going to give
Right.
away.
Santa Claus dropped one off and told us to be good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when the big guy tells you to be good, you know what you do.
Don't argue.
You don't argue. You don't be like that lady on the airplane.
Yeah, exactly. And also, win tonight, be sure and shoot me an email. hamradioclubhouse.com.
Please, because we have to listen to it.
Don't
Every
make me
day that you don't
make
email
me
me.
chase you down. It's free stuff. Just shoot me an email.
Shane, what is our default now? Yeah, what do we want to say? 48 hours, guys. If you don't,
you know what? I'll give you a couple days. If you don't respond back to me in a couple days, and I have to go hunt you down, and you still don't respond, then well, I'm going to regift your winning. Ham Radio Wilderness Frank says we need the full screen. Shane saying that.
You do. That's that small print.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you agree? Yes or no?
Don't make me hunt you down.
Look at that. That face isn't shining. It's not pink. That looks good. The complexion looks good.
Let's see. You know, I should probably just do that. I don't know why it didn't share my screen again. There we go. Hey, look at that. 69 entries. I'm going to hit the button. Who is it going to be? Who is it going to be?
Look at all our friends. Look at all our friends who want one.
Dan Martin.
Hey, Dan. Congratulations.
Congratulations, my friend. You have won the CQ zone map.
That's pretty cool, man.
That is cool. All right. So, Kevin, I want you to explain to everybody what you've been doing with this newfangled app, the WSPR watch.
Yep, on my phone. So probably most everybody's used the WSPR on their laptop. I think there's a couple programs out there that have it in it. So I've always done it, through in the home shack off my main antenna. And because I never really wanted to take my laptop out to the field and try it out there. So it just wasn't convenient for me. So about a month or so ago, I learned from one of the guys on the Facebook group that there's a WSPR, a Whisper app for your phone. And I'm like, really? So he kind of showed it to me, and I'm like, well, that's a game changer for me, because now all these weird antennas I'm doing, I can actually see, are they really propagating and how well they're doing and what direction, are they omnidirectional or are they beamed in one direction? So, it's just, it's the Whisper app, WSPR Watch is what it's called for the iPhone. I don't know if they have it on Android or not, but you can. What you do is it's synced in with the Whisper cycles, and you set it up to transmit from your speaker of your phone, and you have to hold it up to the mic on your radio, and you have to push to talk. At the same time that the data signal's coming out of your phone speaker, so it transmits through your microphone on your radio and out through your antenna. So it's all portable. Yeah, it's portable. And it's nice because you can time it to where it only shows the data on the map for 4 minutes or 10 minutes or 20 minutes. So if you want to, just take a 10-minute look at however the results are, it's going to wipe your map clean so you can start new again and look at it again in 10 minutes or so. So it's pretty convenient.
I told Kevin before we started the show, I screwed up. My last POTA, I wanted to do this because I was at one of my favorite parks. I know where I go. I set up the antenna the same way. And driving there, I'm like, I want to see today, based on band conditions, what band I'm going to use. Who could I expect to hear on, but I got to start using it though.
The thing of it is, 1 watt on the Whisper net, you're going to go a long ways. There's a lot of this, that Whisper thing is built for low weak signal propagation reporting. So it's those receivers are looking for weak signals, and so that's why I found 1 watt is quite a bit of power. If you can go lower, half a watt to 100 milliwatts, you'll get a little better, especially if you're comparing antennas. You don't want to blow all that out to the whole world, and you have 200 sites.
I was just going to say that, guys. Do not do this with 25 watts. Do not do it with 50 or 100. Right. You're blowing the whole concept of what this is about.
Right.
But like Kevin said, guys, 1 watt or less.
Keep your power low so you can see the differences between it in a micro vision rather than trying to blow up, trying to get a lot of stations. I guess it's kind of hard to explain, but I think you understand what I'm saying. Use low power so you can actually see the results a lot easier.
I found the app very, very easy to use, guys.
It is.
Trust me, there's not a lot of technical stuff and data, and you must do. It's all right there. You just a couple different drop downs, and that's really it.
Yep, you hit enable transmit, and it counts down for you, however many seconds until it's going to transmit. And so usually when it gets down to 1 second left on the countdown, I'll push the talk button and hold the phone to the mic, and it starts transmitting the data, and it transmits for 162 maybe seconds. It's a couple minutes it transmits for. So it times it for you too. It tells you how long it's going to transmit for. There's a clock on there, a timer. So you just watch the clock, and it'll stop transmitting when it's over, and then you just release push to talk, and then you can go in on the map and look on the app, and it may take a minute or two for them stations to report back to the main server or wherever it does, and show up on your map. But so give it some time. Don't expect immediate results. Give it a few minutes for the map to populate on the app.
Mm-hmm.
So
good job.
It's a lot of fun. But like I said, it's a game changer for me, because now I can really. I wish I'd had it, back when I was, using a windmill for an antenna and a silo for an antenna, just to kind of see how it's actually radiating out there.
You don't hear that on the Clubhouse a lot. I was using a silo or a windmill antenna,
or crick water, or shovel or whatever.
Yeah, just the shovel. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, and you can do it in the shack too. You can use it in your shack and just do it through your mic that way too, if you don't want to have the app on your laptop. So
that is true. What are you using for battery power when you're out there in the field?
I just got a Bioenno 6 amp hour battery, and then in the shack I'm totally off grid in the shack. I got solar power coming in, and I've got a 20 amp hour battery because I'm just running QRP radios, so I don't need a lot of power. I'm only running 5 watts or less, so that's plenty enough to keep my shack going, and keeps the. I do have the power supply running on the 7300 during net night for that hour or two when we're running the net, because I don't want to, work my battery down too far. But I've just got a SLA 20 amp hour battery in a box here with the Buddy Pole Mini 2 charge controller that keeps everything charged during the day when the sun's shining. And I haven't had it go dead on me yet, so it works great, and it's quiet. I don't have to have the fan noise from my power supply. Right. I don't have to. It's just a total quiet environment in here now.
What do you do now for the Iowa winters? Because it gets cold out there. So obviously you need to adjust, what you do, maybe the frequency of how many times you go out.
I don't go out. I won't go out to the field much. If I do, I'll pull I got that igloo or that fishing hut on the sled that I'll maybe pull out if the weather's going to be halfway decent. But otherwise, I put this 50-foot pole up in the yard here last weekend. So I'm going to, with pulleys on it and ropes. So I'm going to pull up wires and just kind of experiment here at home for the winter and run out there and throw a wire up and see what it does, and just kind of play around that way.
What are the winters like for you out there? What's a typical winter where you are?
Cold and windy and snow, just like ice. Mm-hmm. We do have a lot of ice. and ice and wind. That's usually what takes my wires down if I don't lower them ahead of time. But just cold temps and winds basically is what it is, and blizzards and all that fun stuff.
And that won't change to what, depending on, is it, when you
April,
kind of see April,
May.
you see that break, yeah.
It starts warming up. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. April and May. But no, it's a lot of fun. Just kind of hang out in the shack and hunt POTA activators. I may go out and activate a park once in a while, but that's about it. Hunt you, look for you, look at my ham alert and watch everybody that's activating and try and go find them.
Right.
And hunt them.
Well, listen, man, we really appreciate you coming back on again. It's always fun to hear, what you got
going on next.
Yeah.
Well, I'm running out of things. There's a few things I got in mind, but I'll probably have to wait till next spring because it's getting too cold now. So.
I got an idea, Kevin.
Go for it.
So, yes, you've already did the stationary bike to power your radio and I mean for hours, man. I like what's the longest you pedaled that bike?
Well, I did that POTA activation. That was my pedal expedition. Is what it was, and that was an hour and I think it was an hour and 15 minutes or 20 minutes or something like that. I was getting pretty wore out there at the end, but I had to get 50. I got 50 contacts.
I would have told people 3 hours because
it felt like 3 hours.
I left and came back a little later, and you were still pedaling, and I was
still going at it.
There's no way I could do that. So
5 watts and 50 contacts.
Something a little new. Set it up to where you have to pedal backwards for an hour and 20 minutes.
All I'd have to do is change reverse the polarity on my wires.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
It's going to work them muscles all different ways. So,
well, I ride that bike every morning. I exercise in the morning, calling CQ, and between 5:30 and 6 a.m. Right, I'm doing that right now. So
I have to say, every video I've ever seen of yours, I always say, wow.
Thank you. It's just a lot of fun. And
that's what I like about it so much is because I rather go out around the shop finding scrap junk, aluminum and whatever, and make an antenna or something like that instead of buying something. And
well, it's cheaper. Yeah, it's cheaper.
Yeah, but
much cheaper.
It's just the fun part of it, like you said, getting something and making it work.
Yep. And being surprised that it actually does work.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. I'm just as surprised as everybody else is that the dipole and the wagon dipole that I put together, that worked phenomenal. I thought, wow, I couldn't believe that. Hooking 2 wagons together with the ladder line and making a dipole out of it. And that did a great job.
And we ain't talking we're not talking no little red wagons.
No,
that was some big.
No, these are full
wagons.
size.
Yeah,
so they're little by compared to today's standard, but they're 300 bushel wagons. Yep.
300 bushel.
And that was what a full wave dipole.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. It was something. It was metal, but anyway, that was fun.
Well, Kevin, guys, I've got to jump off of here. I've got to go get ready for this call tonight at work. But I wanted to say,
you said that's at 1:00.
I got to get ready for it. We got a prep call coming up, son. God. Jeez, that's what happens when you're primary support person.
I'm sorry that I was ever glad you took this promotion.
You know what it's like? It's sort of like when you get this new girlfriend and then she gets a new job and then she's just like not available to go on a date. What the heck?
Or when your bro gets a girlfriend and he doesn't hang out anymore.
Look at how many consecutive shows I've been on since I took this job and not having to only be on once or twice a month.
No, I know. And you do a lot behind the scenes, guys. Let me tell you something. We kid Shane. He does a lot behind the scenes. So
I got a suggestion.
What's that?
So you could stay on stream And I'm sure we can still multi-stream to your teams or whatever y'all use.
Of course he can.
I'm sure they would love that.
We could all be there with you, and we could make decisions on.
Oh my God, that'd be hilarious.
You know, all you got to do is just before you switch, you just got to change your shirt. That's all you.
Yeah, I've got right now. I've got the Freddie Mercury shirt on. So
there you go.
I'll switch over to a regular work shirt. But I wanted to say thank you to Kevin for coming on. Kevin was on here a couple weeks ago, didn't get to talk much. So Kevin, thanks for coming back. And sorry we didn't get you engaged in that show. And yeah, thanks for the 130 people that are here right now. And I'm gonna go be a loser and go do that work stuff.
You know what that show reminded me of, Shane? We all felt bad because we invited Kevin on, and then we had a whole bunch of guests. And I was watching this TikTok video of this guy who was talking about his first date, and he sets up this date with this girl, and he shows up to the restaurant, to an Indian restaurant, and the girl is there with her parents, and she invited her parents, and because like typically in that culture, they would do arranged marriages. And so I guess she had told her parents that she had found a guy that she wanted to marry. And so it was the first date, and it was like the whole family tagged along. And so Kevin's first date with us, the whole family tagged along.
Yeah, everyone was here.
It was an awkward moment, but
it was Halloween. I expected that anyway. Yeah, I expected it because everybody was out that night, Halloween night. Yeah. So that was.
But I'm going to bow out. Y'all have a great show, the rest of the show. And again, Kevin, thanks for joining us. Thanks for everybody in the green chat. And thanks for everyone on Twitch. And I will see you guys next week.
Okay, love you, buddy.
Bye. I'm not going to hit the top red button like Daniel does. I'll hit the
Hey, you be quiet. I'll do it just in spite. So I think he should have, Jason uses Zoom to go to YouTube when everybody meets him. And I think Shane should have done. You're right. Shane should have taken YouTube to the Zoom meeting.
Right.
Could you imagine if he goes into that meeting and says, "I brought experts in," and we just sat there. We just sat there. We're like critiquing, like.
We should have made sure that the boss knew that Shane came with a panel.
Yes.
Right.
It's like a girlfriend who has kids. Shane comes with kids. We are the kids.
Yes. We are the kids.
That should have been part of his job interview.
And sometimes if I get a little bit extra candy, if I get too much candy in me, I'm bouncing around.
Child support is just Southwest dropping a super chat. You know, I mean, $1.99, baby.
I have a confession to make to everybody, though.
I can't wait.
Not only have I cheated on my queen with Frosty, with Wendy, but I've been watching some YouTube videos of a different hobby, and you guys are going to be like, this is stupid, but it's really interesting to watch. Watchmakers, people who work on watches, people who work on watches.
Really?
Yeah. So I've been subscribed to a guy called ClickSpring for a couple of years, and this guy makes all the intricate gears by hand with files and stuff. Right? You see how I did that? The little motion, the mini files. Anyways, and so I've been watching guys who restore old watches, but really fancy watches. And it's just really interesting. And I'm like, that's really cool. And part of me is like, do I want to buy some stuff? I don't know. I'm a geek in that level. So that's my confession to my ham radio brothers. So.
Well, tell me a little bit more about, is he in the United States? Is he in Switzerland? Is he overseas? Where is he?
There's some from all over the place, but there's ClickSpring. I don't know where he's from. I don't know, but he has a great channel. Very, very, very talented. There's another one called Wristwatch Revival. That's interesting. The guy's got, some people it's like the old school ape hands videos, or who used to do the hand videos, only hands. You guys remember that? Steve Donna's in an Eskimo. That's an Eskimo hut, right?
Yes.
Anyways, the guy. Ham Till Hurt says, how many watches have you lost in cows?
They stay in the glove.
It's when the alarm clock goes off and you see the cow bouncing around.
He gets a text message.
Yeah.
See,
or
Don's
if
got
there's diamonds in that watch, he's going back in, man. I'll tell you that right now. He's gonna go in for a second. He's going back in.
James says, the funny thing is these watchmakers are always running late.
That's a good one.
But no, anyways, it's just fun. So I've been watching that. It's really cool. Some people are super talented.
You know what I do at work? We're talking about YouTube. I'll go on the live ones. There's the rail one called Rail Fan. And I don't know anything about trains. But I have this fixation that when the train is going by, I count the cars. I don't know why. I don't know what the significance of it is. It's just very relaxing. Yes, some of them have graffiti on them. Some of them have, the famous transportation companies. There's the Amazon ones. I don't know what I'm watching. I don't know what cargo they have in them. Everything from Kalamazoo to West Coast, Midwest, whatever. Beautiful scenery of the rail yards or just out, wherever they are. And I just count. And then the other one I watch is the bird feeders, where these people have these areas in their backyard with the bird feeders, and there's some stuff on the ground, some stuff at maybe the 6 or 8 foot level, and it's very cool. And I had this midnight shift a couple weeks ago, and of course around 5 a.m. it's interesting to see who's there at midnight, and then who leaves, then who's they have like a different type of wildlife come through the area and enjoy themselves. And I don't know, relaxation maybe, or quirkiness.
And I also have some news. I was talking with Tommy Boy yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy Boy's going to be a grandpa.
Really? Congratulations to him.
Yeah, man. Pretty cool. So,
hey, listen, we got to talk about two things here. Let me just get up the email. This is support our friends. So, I want to say about a year ago, maybe, Jeremy Haygood came on our show, KL7EC, Kilo Lima 7 Echo Charlie. Put him in your handler. I'll say it again. Kilo Lima 7 Echo Charlie. He's out in Alaska. If you need Alaska for whatever the reason, POTA, work all states, whatever, bragging rights. He says to me, "Hey Don, how you doing? We're going to be heading out on a 6-hour drive and then a snow machine ride out to Minto Flats, Kilo 9700. It's in Alaska, coming up this Saturday, December 2nd. It's never been activated. And we're going to be camping there until Monday, December 4th. We'll be doing sideband, FT8, FT4 when we're at the camp, mostly during the day. And they're going to be on a wolf hunt. Okay. It's going to be himself, KL7EC, Sean, KL5, November Echo, KL5NE, and Doug, KL7DUG, KL7 Delta Uniform Golf. And again, KL7EC. Put them in your ham alert. Watch your POTUS spots, whatever spotting. Again, if you need Alaska, guys, there you go. This coming weekend, starting on maybe Saturday to between Saturday and Sunday, maybe. I'm not sure what time on Monday they're going to be leaving, but that's going to be a fun thing, I think, if you're looking for Alaska somehow, some way. They're good guys. They have some fun. I see some of their videos. I can't remember if it was on YouTube or somewhere else, but these guys like playing that. Frank, I don't know if I have your email, Frank, but Frank, shoot me an email and I'll just forward you the email. Okay, that's probably the easiest. Let's see. Sealand. Did anybody see the Sealand show or on 60 Minutes? We posted it here through Twitter. Did you see it also?
I clicked the link and it said not available to watch in your country.
Come on. The British will not send it to Canada or the Canadian government. Are you serious?
Don't know.
Okay, so 38-minute video. It's on YouTube right now, CBS. And you know the show called 60 Minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I found it very interesting because they were talking to the family. Obviously, the father has passed away. The original guy who did the pirate radio, and all, he passed away. But the sons are running it.
Do they want to sell it?
Well, no. And I'll tell you why. They were doing a lot of things in there. Like they were hosting some websites. And they were very upfront. They were hosting some gambling stuff, some, X-rated stuff. They were doing a lot out there. But when you look at the pictures of Sealand, I never really contemplated, but the tunnels or the columns is where the living quarters were it's just very, so I guess if you're claustrophobic.
So we can have a ham shack out of the rain. Oh, that's good.
I'm confused. Are you now saying you're claustrophobic? You don't want to live on Sealand, or which one is it?
Well, what do I got to do? Do I got to have some type of acupuncture and some hypnotists come in and do something with me? Because I want Sealand. I want to be a Dutch or what do you call that thing?
A lord of Sealand.
I want to be a lord. I want to be a lord. I'm thinking of sending in my money. I know they declined us as a group, but I think individually, and I am not saying we will not use Ham Radio Clubhouse funds. That is not fair. Our mission is to put equipment into our followers. So I'm thinking of, once I get some financial things taken care of this month.
So we have to explain, not everybody here probably knows the story. If you don't know it, look up what's it called? It's Sealand. It's an old World War II outpost about 12 miles out from UK. At the time, a guy who had a pirate radio station in the UK was tired of all the legal issues. He went out, claimed it as his own because it was technically at that time in international waters. Set it up, had a radio station there, a pirate radio station. Lots of interaction with the government and the Navy. They stood their ground. There was an attempted takeover by some Germans or something like that. Long story short, it's an outpost there. They claim it as a country, but it's not recognized by the United Nations. And we want the clubhouse to have, number one, a remote station there one day. And we want to be lords of kingdom.
Let me tell you something. The 60-minute clip was excellent because they talked about the takeover. You are correct. It was six individuals came over, and they were serious. They were taking over that place. Guns were drawn.
Yeah,
and they.
It was the wife who took a. Was it the wife or the son who came out with a rifle?
The daughter. There's pictures of the daughter. Oh my God, she is incredible.
So the husband, the dad, they had the people who took over, put them in the prison cell because there's like a barracks on there,
right?
And one of them was not, and they went and got, I believe, a rifle out and held it to the guys and stopped them and released them, and they kicked them off it's crazy. It should be a movie. It should be a movie,
right? The father was tied up for like 3 days, and they let him loose. Okay, now they let 5 guys go or something because one guy is in charge of. Well, he has many. He's like the Joe Brett. Okay, he has many jobs, and one of them is Homeland Security. They call him Homeland Security. He's in charge of Sealand Homeland Security. But back in the day, this guy, one of the pirates who tried taking over, they retook Sealand. No, the family retook it over, and then they made him, I think, clean the toilets. They made as a jailing sentence.
Should have kicked him over the side.
I think they were getting ready to do that to them. That's how serious it was.
Oh, it was super serious. Oh, I remember wasn't it? Okay, my story's getting mixed up. The UK Navy went out there and were warning them, and I think the wife might have shot across the bow of the ship with a rifle. I forget what it was.
They
Some
were
crazy.
all-
There's so many crazy stories that happen.
and
Where
it
the
should be
truth is, no one
it
knows.
really should be a movie. You know something?
It should be a movie.
Steven Spielberg, Martin Scorsese, Tom Hanks.
Scorsese.
If you are watching us right now, please consider doing a movie about Sealand, because these guys can make it happen. Henry Winkler would be another guy. You guys can make this happen, because I find this Sealand very, very interesting from start to even to where they are now.
Maybe we got to take over Antarctica. Maybe that's what we got. Maybe that's our destiny. Think about it. Forget UN declaration of no go, whatever nonsense. We should become lords of Antarctica.
Is there a plot of land up by you that's not being used?
I don't know.
Well, first off, would the Canadian government accept us, or would there be a problem?
You're pushing it.
I got credentials. Listen, I got references. Listen, Kevin would be happy. Kevin, would you write me a nice reference?
Sure. As long as you can take your cigars across the border.
Exactly. I got it. Listen,
Izzo.
Maybe you're right. Maybe we're concentrating on the wrong place. Maybe we just need to be.
I think we are.
Is there any desert? Is there any land in the deserts?
Listen, man.
And in Australia.
Listen, man. Lords of Kenya kind of sounds catchy to me. Lords of Kenya.
How about up in Greenland? There's got to be something, or up in up in your northwest there, or your what?
Listen,
is it?
I don't know.
Canada?
Iceland might become free to take after if everything goes pretty rough over there. So we'll see.
Well, technically, I was looking into.
You think Kevin would rent us some land?
Yeah,
corn land.
You want to go where it's warm. Go where it's warm. Don't go north.
Yeah, because the South Pole, Antarctica, is pretty much free. You're absolutely right. That could be anybody, as long as you're not it's no one holds claim to that area.
Well,
the problem is getting out there.
You're not allowed to go to Antarctica. It's the United Nations did a declaration. But if we listen, if we listen to Professor Ape and the world is flat, some flat earthers think on the other side of Antarctica are worlds unknown. That if you get through the passage,
What are you saying? That we should go up to the moon or Mars or some other planet? Would we have better? Should we? Elon Musk, if you are watching this right now, should we get on one of his rockets and?
Dude, we should send him a letter saying, "Can we send us Clubhouse sticker to space?"
No, you know what we're gonna do? That'd be Shaq and Greg really writes the best letters, because he wrote a letter to the ARRL. That, oh my God, just Joe Bright, you remember that letter?
Yes, I remember that letter.
All right, so Ham Radio.
Make it.
Listen, Ham Radio Tectonic says, "I'll vouch for Izzo as soon as PayPal clears." Listen, Izzo, if you want to send in your application to come to Canada, here's how simple it is. When you ever gone to give in your CV at a company and they say, "We'd be more than happy to accept this. Thank you so much. I'll give it to the person who it goes to." Yeah, I'll say the same thing. We'll say the same thing, but we all know once you close that door and you're gone, it goes in the garbage. So. You send in your application. You should.
Okay, you know something? Maybe instead of us trying to do things on land, look at the old James Bond movies. Those guys built a fortress underwater. Maybe we should go either pick an ocean, any ocean, but maybe we should do something underwater. Maybe that's our.
Listen, I'll be happy if Elon puts a Clubhouse sticker in space. That'd be pretty cool.
What price tag he would put on that?
It's a freaking sticker. It weighs like half an ounce.
Doesn't matter. It's his rocket.
Well, he's cool. Maybe
Guess
he'll be
what?
tight with the Clubhouse.
Frank the Tank probably heard this a minute ago, and he already sent him the email. He wants a tank sticker on there first, or a sapphire sticker.
Maybe we're just destined not to be lords. Should have been born in Scotland.
Something to listen. I mean, I love the whole Sealand thing. I love the history of it. Like I said, go watch that special. You'll learn a little bit more about what they were doing to make some money and doing some other things. But maybe like I said, maybe we just need to think a little bit more globally. Again, should we do something up in the air? Should we do something underwater? Do we under land? Is it better for us to buy some of these like people who live in a school bus? They buy a bus and they live in the bus and they make it into a tiny house or something. Maybe we need to do something like that.
Do you think we need to start? Are you trying to say we should have our own RV park?
Yes. Yes. You know something? We would do very well if with an RV park.
Joe,
why not?
He's like, no, I get too many police calls.
No, I'm sitting here thinking we can't even run a clubhouse, and y'all want to like start nations.
It's different though. But it's different though, Joe. It's different. An RV park is. Listen, what do you need for an RV park? Sufficient. RVs. You build it, they will come. Okay. But the RV park has to have the infrastructure. So you have to have something to.
Kevin was there?
Well, no, but you have to be able to have something for the power for them, and what do you call that? Gray water waste tanks, whatever has to get drained out.
Yeah, sewage. Yeah,
sewage, and then you're going to have some internet service for everybody, which is easy, and a shack where they can get candy bars, cookies. Molson, you can sell your maple syrup and stuff.
How do we go from spending $25 online to become lords of Sealand to buying a trailer park? Like one is like an application for $25 to just get your name on a bullshit piece of paper, and now we're talking about becoming landowners together. No, not happening.
Listen. 3 years ago,
we got rejected on that $25.
No, but 3 years ago. But wait a minute. May I remind you, 3 years ago, when we were in Discord and I said, I have an idea, and we all said, oh, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Hello?
You see that, Joe?
Yeah, and friends like
so
that.
We got to read it for the club. We got to read it for the podcast, man.
No.
Got to read it. Brian says, Clubhouse times Trailer Park Boys. Does that mean Joe Brett is Leahy?
No, he cannot be Mr. Leahy. No, he's not Mr. Leahy. That's a funny show, but he's not Mr. Leahy. I don't know. Maybe we need to do something like that.
Maybe.
Well, what's the easiest thing? Then what is a low cost, low maintenance, but yields high fun? There's got to be some type of real estate out there that we can do. Invite our friends, just like on a Tuesday night. Invite our friends.
We got to do a Clubhouse get-together in Las Vegas. That's what we have to do.
We can't even get everyone. We can't even get everybody to Huntsville.
Maybe there's a reason why.
Ham Radio Wilderness. Kevin probably has to say about all this is, I've got my cornfield. You can have your nations.
If it's free, it's for me. I'm on the cheap on this end. No money.
So Kevin's not renting a spot, so we got that out of the way.
You got me thinking, Molson. I'm going to stay up all night now. You know what's going to happen? At 4 o'clock in the morning, the idea is going to pop in my head. I'm going to find my Post-it paper, probably stub my toe as I go across the room in the darkness, trying to get the Post-it note in the pen.
I got it. Kevin, you're going to Vegas because Clubhouse is going to Vegas, and you, my friend, are going to light up. You are going to make antenna the sphere.
The what?
It's called the sphere.
Oh, yeah, the sphere. I've seen that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's the sphere, all right.
That's it. Ham Radio will make its mark in Vegas. by
While the
illuminating.
smiley face is making funny faces
Exactly.
because of the
Exactly.
RF in his
Yeah.
nerves. Yeah.
Load up the Bellagio.
Load, load up the sphere. I wonder what kind of antenna that would. If you don't know what the
I don't
sphere
e-
is, check it out.
What is that even made out of? I don't even know. I'm not even that.
I'm going to
Sure.
say the noise level is going to be horrible.
Yeah.
Probably.
But maybe down by the bunny ranch, it's a lot quieter.
Listen, man, don't be worried about the noise. And something Adele says, I'm sure there's nowhere up there, huh? But you bring that Zygu, you'll tune that bastard up 10-1, baby.
That's right. A G90 will tune a wet noodle.
Or go down by Area 51. Just outside of Area 51, obviously. Listen, there's got to be something. Listen, any of our friends in Nevada, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, there's got to be some land that is just sitting there. That's just sitting there, unincorporated, and it's a gold mine. It could be the Clubhouse gold mine right there. There has to be something. I am asking all of our Clubhouse friends. I'm asking you, if you are watching this show right now, you let us know. hamradioclubhouse@gmail.com. Email, serious emails only.
I'm
I
sure
don't
there's people
even-
watching who are like, are these guys serious? Are they out of mind?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yes, we are.
Izzo's taking this seriously.
Yes, we are. You have to take this stuff seriously. Listen, like I said 3 years ago when we were on Discord at midnight, we said, "Hey, let's do this," and then we said, "Oh, I don't know, should we do this? We're not going to be able to clean it up. We can't do this." And we said we could do anything we want to do. Just put our heads to it, and just do it right. Be ethical. Be good. Just be ourselves is what we said, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then it was you, Molson, who said, "Oh, we can't do this on a monthly basis. We got to do this next week."
Yeah. Well, guys, we're getting down to the wire here.
Yeah.
It's 10-2, so let's go around the horn. Say our piece there. Kevin, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight.
Thanks for inviting me. I appreciate it. I had a lot of fun. It's always good to be back in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
Never know
you're
what
doing
happened.
some really cool things that are just they're just fun to watch. And it's really cool to see you having that fun there. So I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Joe Brett.
Yep, that's me. And I try to do a video a week, and I hang out on Tuesdays with you folks and enjoy it. Thank you.
Mr. Izzo.
Working. To try to get out to play some POTA next week if I can, and I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna go over to the dumpster fire, see what the boys are doing over there. But I'm gonna, hey, listen, that dumpster fire, they may have some good ideas for us because hey, let's face it, that's a think tank over there right now. You know that.
They're a little short tonight. There's only Frank and Williams left in there.
Uh-oh.
No, I didn't see the usual suspects in there.
Okay. You never know. The door's always open.
Have to send him a little letter. Grievance. But anyways, guys, thank you for all our viewers tonight. What's up, Izzo?
I was gonna say, you got that famous outro music button ready?
I do, man.
Okay.
Listen, for all you guys who are watching, really appreciate you coming. We're very happy that Kevin came on tonight. And like always, have a great week, and we look forward to seeing you next week. 73, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
My biggest problem is we moved the show. Do I pack shorts? Do I pack long underwear? What do I bring? Everything?